Welcome back. Kong Skull Island absolutely crushed the competition at the box office this weekend, but did it earn our movie reviewers accolades? Our Matt Perrin has your Monday movie musing.
Welcome to another Monday. It was a solid weekend at the box office, up from last year, and once again with a winner that had a better than expected weekend. Even though Logan continued to perform well, it dropped to the #2 spot behind a movie centering around an actual wild animal. Sure to be a CGI and special effects spectacle, Kong Skull Island roared its way to king of the box office. So was it worth the money that it brought in? Well, here's my take on the newest return of Kong to the big screen. Our film begins in the 1970s. A new island has been discovered through satellite imagery, and Bill Randa, played by John Goodman, is ready to lead a team in to test a theory he's been working on. He gets a unique team made up of scientists, a military helicopter squad, a tracker, and a photographer. They have to reach the island by flying through an always-present storm system, and upon getting through it, they discover what looks to be a paradise. They begin dropping seismic charges to map the island's surface, which gains the attention of one of its main residents, Kong himself. He goes to battle with the helicopter squadron, and needless to say, it's pretty one-sided. With all of the helicopters destroyed and everyone spread out, the survivors pretty quickly form two groups. The leader of the helicopter squadron, Preston Packard, played by Samuel L. Jackson, makes it his mission to round up all the ammunition and destroy the giant ape for revenge and protection of people everywhere, and they set off to do just that. Meanwhile, the second group, led by the tracker James Conrad, played by Tom Hiddleston, are solely concerned with making it to the rendezvous point in order to escape the island they clearly don't belong on. Along the way, they run into an indigenous tribe and Hank Marlowe, a World War II veteran who has been stuck on the island for decades. They learn the history of the island and more about the actual dangers. As the movie progresses, we see the ultimate example of man versus nature played out on a grand scale, and it's safe to say that man is a little bit of an underdog in this fight. As the two groups reconvene, we see that their priorities still differ and that the military mentality isn't necessarily the correct path toward survival. With the new threat of giant skull crawlers along with Kong waiting at every turn, we as the audience sit on the edge of our seat placing bets on who is going to make it out of the situation alive. So, what to say about this one? First off, I have to say that I've been a fan of a lot of the King Kong films leading up to this one, and that being said, I got exactly what I wanted and expected from this movie. It was definitely a special effects spectacular, and whenever people go to Skull Island, you know nothing good is waiting for them, but half the fun is seeing exactly what kind of creature or situation is going to do them in. The film doesn't waste much time with character development. It's more of a quick introduction. Here's this guy, here's what he does, this is why you like him or don't like him. Strangely, even without this development, you find yourself invested in these characters and their goals, regardless of what side of the line they fall on. But you really find yourself enjoying John C. Reilly. He does such an endearing job as someone who came from the outside world and hasn't been back in almost 30 years. You hope for everyone else, but you really root for him. All in all, a very entertaining movie about the follies of man, wrapped up in a nice little bow of action and prehistoric monsters. It is definitely a fun 2-hour escape that fails to bore you at any point in time. This has been your Monday Movie Musing. Back to you.
All right, up next, another look at that 7-day plus, a story that will put these cold temperatures into perspective. We're back right after this.